Good evening. Welcome to this planning board meeting tonight for July 2026. We're glad you're here. And as is normal, we'll start tonight's meeting off with a prayer. If you'll bow with me, please. Most gracious and lovely Heavenly Father, we're so thankful to be here tonight. And for all the blessings you give us in this city, we're so thankful. We ask you, Father, to bless us tonight. We pray that we'll be fair and use wisdom in our decisions. We pray for our city and for our state and for our country. And we're so proud to be here in all the freedoms that we enjoy. Father, we ask you to bless those who protect and serve this city. We ask you to grant them safety, and we ask you to bless their families, and we're thankful for their service. We ask this prayer in Christ's name. Amen. Sean, is there any additions or modifications to the agenda tonight?
No, there's not.
Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the agenda as written?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion.
Mr. Barnesfield makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Parnell seconds. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. And has everybody had a chance to read the minutes from the June meeting? I know Ms. Wheeler was not here. Are there any corrections or additions that need to be made? Hearing none, may I have approval for the June 2026 meeting?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Parnell. A second, please. Second by Mr. Barnesfield. All those in favor say aye. 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 Motion carries. Okay, item number 3 is our public forum. And at this time, we invite people from the community to come to the front and state their comments. If you do come, we ask you to sign the registration on the podium, and we ask you to keep your comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone here that would like to make a comment to the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the public forum? So moved by Ms. Wheeler. A second, please. Second. We have a second by Mr. Parnell. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. The forum is closed. We're now ready for item number 4. All rides touchless car wash. Let's see. Let me get my... is anybody here representing this business? If you'll come and state your name, then we're going to turn it over to Sean for
Good afternoon. My name is John Newman. I'm with M2 Group. We're the engineer for this project. The owners are also present.
All right. Sean?
All right, thank you, Chair. This is the first of 2 car washes that we have on the agenda tonight. This first one for the all rides touchless wash requests site plan approval for a approximately 3,500 square foot car wash on 1 acre, zone commercial general at 956 Louisville Highway. May be familiar with this out parcel to Quick Trip. General site plan details include 3 service bays and then 2 express automatic car wash bays. 6 vacuum stalls, and then you'll see kind of the access will come in from that driveway at Quick Trip and move into the car wash bays and or to the vacuum stalls. In terms of some of the landscaping, will kind of come around the perimeter, providing some additional tree cover around the perimeter, and then also some shrubs in the front along that roadway frontage in the area. In terms of the elevations, you see kind of the blank parcel there now, the empty parcel there now, and then what is proposed. That building, kind of one-story structure, I think, sloped metal roof, max height of about 27 feet, and brick exterior veneer for the exterior materials. And those will be consistent with the dumpster enclosure as well. And so only staff stipulation is just to complete a couple of minor comments from the city's engineer consultant. Finish that plan review comments prior to issuing a land disturbance permit for the project. Motion options that you have in front of you would be, one, to approve the site plan, meeting the city's zoning ordinance and design guidelines with the listed staff stipulation, and two, to deny the site plan based on the city commission's determination during the meeting. Then also number three, to defer the request to include additional information at your request, and staff recommendation would be for motion one, to approve the site plan.
Okay, thank you. Do you have anything to add or any additional comments?
No, I think the staff has summarized it well, just that the conditions of approval, we don't see any problem making those changes. So, thank you.
Okay, I'll turn this over to the board. Any questions tonight? Mr. Parnell?
I don't know that it really matters, but just maybe out of curiosity, is there any reason why there's no other entrance or exit connected to the ingress and egress easement? I guess that's farther, I don't know if that's north or east, but is there any reason why there wasn't another connection made?
So that existing entrance easement on the north side of the lot is for the Quick Trip primarily, through the 1 acre parcel that's on the northwest corner of the Quick Trip lot. And for circulation of the car wash, just to maintain people coming in and paying and going through the car wash and leaving, that one access point that's why that's just the one access point, connecting to the Quick Trip parking lot.
Okay, so it kind of helps control the flow and
That's right.
make sure everybody pays.
That's right.
Okay. It looks like there are 5 bays. They're all just automatic car wash bays.
So there's 3 self-wash, and there's 2 that are the automatic wash on the north side of the building.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion from the board. The motion should include any stipulations that the staff has outlined.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to know, what is your completion date on this thing?
Completion date for construction? There's not a schedule at this time, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
Just so everybody on our board understands why I was asking the question, I just wanted to make sure there was plenty of car washes have a lot of traffic. bring cars in and go out. There's a quick turnaround. There's a lot of traffic. So I just wanted to make sure that we had enough movement. But the Quick Trip has 3 in and outs. There's one south that we're not seeing on our paper here. And quite honestly, the one that this one's going to clearly use the most is not necessarily the one the Quick Trip uses the most. So it actually works out pretty well. So I'm quite pleased with that, even though it's just the one. Actually, that one control may actually be better than having another entrance or exit. So just wanted to put that out there.
All right, thank you.
I have one thought and question. Obviously, your Quick Trip's very sophisticated and your company is as well. Obviously, easement, ingress and egress has all been worked out prior to.
Yes, sir, there's an existing
There's an existing
ingress,
easement?
egress easement on the
Was that
Quick Trip
marked
parcel.
in your paperwork?
Yes, sir, it should be, yes.
I was more concerned if it was one specific meets and bounds easement description, or if it was sort of a general easement across the Quick Trip.
There's a specific ingress egress easement from the existing curb cut on Louisville Highway that leads to our entrance. And so we're within that easement for the
It's
proposed.
still part of their entryway as well.
That's right.
Okay. Not on unimproved ground.
That's right.
Thank you.
If we're ready to make a motion, Mr. Parnell?
Move to approve with staff stipulations.
We have a motion to approve by Mr. Parnell with the staff stipulations. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Tenon. Any further comments? Oh, I'm sorry. That's fine. Yeah, make that Mr. Barnesfield made the second. Any other questions or comments before we vote? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval with staff stipulation say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're now ready for item number 5, the Rivergate Master Plan, and request a revised preliminary master plan to include additional right-in and right-out. Oh, I'm sorry. I got new glasses. Okay. Yeah, I got you now. I got you. I'm on the same page now. I'm sorry, we're ready for item number 5. It's the club car wash operations. Request site plan approval for a 4,565 square foot car wash on 1.48 acres at 155 Long Hollow Pike. And you're here to represent that? And state your name, please.
I am Eric Kirchner with Cochran.
Thank you for coming. And we'll turn this over to Sean.
Thank you, Chair. As you mentioned, this is the second car wash that we have in front of us tonight. This one for approximately a 4,500 square foot car wash at 155 Long Hollow Pike. This is a site that has had a car wash there prior, and then there were approval of a site plan for McBee's car wash that didn't materialize, and so this proposal has one automated bay, 18 vacuum stalls, as well as a lobby area, office restroom, and equipment room on the site. I should also mention, there is existing access off of Long Hollow Pike. This site would also utilize at least a portion of that access. In terms of the landscaping, there is quite a bit of shrubs and trees that have been planted on the frontage of Long Hollow Pike, as well as the perimeter in the back, to kind of buffer against some of those existing properties behind it. Some of the existing elevations, you'll see kind of that entrance off of Long Hollow Pike, as well as the proposed elevations. It's also a one-story structure with a flat roof design, and then this would be a spec brick exterior material with that matching material for the dumpster enclosure as well. We do have a couple of staff stipulations to complete. The city engineer's consultant plan review comments primarily pertaining to stormwater prior to issuance of that land disturbance permit. We'd also just want to see that any necessary TDEC approval, see those permits, as well as TDOT approval on access onto Long Hollow Pike. Motion options that we have, one would be to approve the site plan with the listed staff stipulations that we just covered, to deny the site plan or to defer the request. And staff recommendation would be number one, to approve the site plan with the listed staff stipulations.
Okay, do you have anything to add?
Yes, Sean did a pretty good job of covering a lot of things, so I'll try not to double up on the stuff that he brought up already. One of the things I want to talk about is that the existing access point there, it's kind of like a split access right now. We're going to make that into one access point to offer up and give a little bit more landscape buffer space in the front along Long Hollow Pike. So we're going to modify that entrance to bring it to just one access point instead of having to split access. We're also going to install an 8-foot walk along Long Hollow Pike with a connection from that walk up to our building. The code requires 16 stacking spaces for the receiving. We're providing 29 stacking spaces to provide extra capacity for our customers. As Sean mentioned, we got 18 self-serve vacuum bays. The facility will operate off of 3 employee parking spaces, 1 manager space, and 1 ADA space. All the vacuum arches, trash receptacles, lights, and et cetera will be black in color. We did provide a landscape plan that meets the city's requirements, and you can kind of see them in color there on that plan that Sean's got pulled up. We also submitted a site lighting photometric plan that meets the city's requirements. The project will collect the stormwater from our improvements and put it into a stormwater facility, which will be designed according to the city's requirements, which was part of the condition number 1. So we'll make sure that happens according to the city's code and coordinate that with the city engineer. Operations for this facility will be 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, then 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sundays. And when it's not in operation, then no one's allowed to use the facility. So the tunnel wash does not operate off business hours, and the vacuums are not available as either. So it only operates when there's employees on the site. Each of the vacuum stations that we have has trash receptacles at them, which are cleaned on a routine basis and taken to the trash enclosure. The western or southern receiving lane at the pay booth is a cash line, and the other one is for the members only. So you got 2 different lines there. Members only, it reads a sticker on the windshield as you pull up to it and lets you through, and then it alternates those gates to feed them to the entrance to the tunnel. And then we did speak with staff in regards to the conditions that they have. We have no issues with those conditions. So I'll open any questions you might have.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll open this up to the board for any questions or comments.
I can't tell without my glasses, but I guess this does meet our brick spec. I guess it's pretty much all brick and glass.
Yeah, it's all masonry, correct.
Thank you.
Are you familiar with the other car wash that was approved several years ago?
The McBee's, no, I'm not familiar with their,
Okay, I didn't know how much difference there is with this car wash than it was with the other one.
yeah, I'm not familiar. Club Car Wash is got all over the Midwest, and all the way out to Colorado and Wisconsin. They're operating 270 to 280 car washes right now, so they're a well-established business and continue to grow.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman, this is actually quite different layout, but it has a similar problem that I had with the McBee's one. And it's that once you're in the queue, you're stuck. There is no way out of that queue. There's no way, once you're in there, you can't get out. And I'm just looking at it, trying to find a way to make that a little bit better. The McBee's, my bigger problem was you couldn't tell how busy it was until you got in the queue. And then once you were in the queue, you were stuck in it. At least this one, you can see it, so that helps. But what if you're 10 cars back and you have an emergency and you need out of that line? I guess you just start screaming at the top of your lungs and try to get everybody to move out of the way, but there's just no exit anywhere.
Mr. Parnell, I'd made that same observation, because I recall that from when the McBee's was here. And I was just looking at the diagram. These appear to be the large center areas, the bays, I presume, or
What's that? I'm sorry.
vacuuming.
I'm sorry, what was that question?
Well, when you come in the queue, so to speak, let's say you pull in and you look and there are 18 cars in front of you.
Mhm.
And then somebody pulls behind you, you're there until you at least get all the way ready to go into the bay before you have the ability to turn right and get out of there.
Mhm.
Are you looking for some way to turn right before then on that long loop on the, I guess that would be the, looking for the,
Yes.
marker, that'd be on the east marker, on the east drive, where the landscaping is demonstrated? Is that what you're looking for?
It's just, I wish it was there. I don't know that I would demand it, require it. I don't know, but I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that it was, that design is that design, and you're not getting out of that line once you're in it. And most, you go to a fast food restaurant and you're in line in the drive-through and something happens, you just drive away. You just pull out of the line and go away. This, you're there. I mean, I guess you don't have to have your car washed yet. Yeah, once you get through and pay, you can drive through the vacuum line and forego the car wash, but you're going through the whole line. And I don't like that, but I don't know how to get.
Well, and I don't mean to interrupt, but if we have done before, if you'd like a bypass line in the queue before you get to the pay booth, so at the end of that longer row of vacuums, we could add one there so that you could escape before you have to go through the pay booth. We've done that before. If you'd like me to add one there, I can certainly add one so you could escape there, and then you could also have the escape once you get through the pay booth as well. So we could have two if you want me to add one. Certainly could do
And
that.
that would make me happier.
Okay, I can do that.
If you did that, would you not do away with a couple of vacuum lines?
I'd take a look at it, try not to lose vacuums, but I think there's a way we can get one incorporated there without losing too much vacuum. I think the long row of vacuums could probably stay in. We could put a bypass lane just to the south of the last vacuum there and make it work. That way, at least you'd have a chance to get out before you got to the pay booth.
Okay. And so you said the pay booth is, one is for memberships and one is cash?
Correct.
Or pay at the booth type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you expect one of those to be significantly busier than the other?
It depends upon the membership base. Club Car Wash does operate a really significant membership base, so you'll see a lot of them go into the member line. And the cash line is there. It'll also accept a sticker too. If a member pulls up, it'll also open the gate. If it's empty, you can go through that one too. But you will see their members pretty consistently go through that outer gate, and that'll be a lot of the flow.
Okay, so you don't expect the cash section to back up too far and the members have to sit and wait for?
Yeah, my experience, and I go through them all the time, you might see a car or two at the cash thing, but the majority of the flow goes to the members one, because most people establish a membership there and just utilize it that way.
Okay.
And they are pretty quick. They have an attendant there, and they move that cash line pretty quick too, because they realize that, they need to keep that queue moving, so.
Yeah.
I frequent car wash. I go to Mister mainly in Rivergate, and I've never, as busy as they are, I've never had to wait more than 3 or 4 cars ahead of me to get into the car wash. So I'm not as concerned as Mr. Parnell on this. I say I'd be more concerned if you had to do away with a couple of the vacuum bays, because that is sometimes a wait trying to get your car vacuumed after you wash it. So I just want to throw that in.
No, I would not suggest that we would take away a vacuum. I would make a connection just to the south of the vacuum row so we can maintain those 18 vacuums and keep that number.
Yeah.
Would you explain to me how are you going to get to the vacuum line? It looks to me like you're either go with the car wash or the vacuum line, but not both. How do you do this?
How do you get to the vacuums?
Yes.
So you go through your queue line, come out the tunnel on the north end, and when you come out, then you would make your right turn to go into your vacuums and
Okay.
self-vacuum yourself, and then you would leave and go out the exit.
So you'd backtrack through that
Well, it's
out
not
of the vacuum line?
not really backtrack. When you come out of the north end of the tunnel, you just make a right there at the trash enclosure and go into the vacuums and vacuum yourself, and then you just leave to the north.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to go back through the queue line all over again, is what I'm getting at.
Any other questions or comments?
Okay, so is there a gate or some control that keeps people from just coming in and using the vacuums?
So the vacuums are welcome for anybody to use. There's no control.
Just no control, okay. Okay, I was a little concerned because that area and what Terry was just kind of alluding to was there's a lot going on in that little intersection. A lot of crisscross and a lot of stuff. And so if it gets clogged up and yet you've got cars coming out of that car wash, they can't stop. I guess there's an emergency button, I would assume, but
Yeah.
we've just got to make sure that intersection doesn't clog up.
And that's why we got a fairly decent queuing line as you come out of the building to allow cars, 3 or 4 cars to be there before it creates some sort of backup into the tunnel. So, and like I said, we got an operator in the tunnel, so they operate the speed of that track as you're going in, and they can deactivate that if they need to, so there's no issues if something like that happens. But I've been in them where you literally have 1 car coming out of the tunnel, and that's all you got, and you got to go. And I've never seen an issue with it. We try not to do that anymore, but they operate some like that, and they don't have any issue with it.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments, Mayor
Yes, sir,
Tanner?
Mr. Chairman. What is the pulling in and out? I took a picture of my phone trying to zoom in. What is the pulling in and out of Long Hollow Pike? What is the width of that opening to turn in and turn out? Do you know?
The existing or proposed one?
The one you're gonna put in?
Proposed. As I say, it's probably 25 feet.
So it's 24 feet of pavement.
Yeah, it's 25 feet back to back, so 24-foot opening.
That's all the way through the whole neck's at least 24 foot wide, I guess. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any additional questions or comments? If there's no more comments from the board, I'll entertain a motion. And staff has recommended approval with stipulations. And so if there is a motion, we'll need to include those.
May I ask one more question?
You may.
Okay, so you've asked for a variance from the water quality buffer zone. And I guess I see the 30-foot that we're avoiding. And we're running that, I got the exit from the actual car wash right up against it. But the 32 feet, that's okay, I see it now, a 30-foot side setback. Okay. I was wondering why we were squeezing that building. It's just a squished site, and we're really squishing it all down. And if we gave any type of variance to that 30-foot setback, would that help make this site flow better?
Well, when we originally looked at it, we actually had the building a little bit further to the north to try to spread it out. But in order to, create the vegetative buffer that your code requires, that 30-foot that we were asked for a variance to go from 60 to 30, we pulled everything down to the south in order to be able to make sure we could give that 30, and that's really what's driving that building location.
Okay. It's a difficult site. I recognize it's a difficult
It's
site.
narrow, agreed.
Any further questions or comments? So we'll be looking for a motion to approve, deny, or to defer.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to make a motion that we approve the site plan presented to us tonight that meets city's guidelines with the staff stipulations included, and with the request of Mr. Kirchner that he makes that adjustment relative to cars being able to get out of the
Another bypass lane. Yes, ma'am.
If you'll do that, I want to make that motion.
We have a motion to approve with stipulations.
Mr. Falls would be able to make that determination as staff, correct? Yeah.
And you did say with that exit? Okay, that's good. I'm good with it. Go ahead. Thank you.
We have a motion for approval with stipulations, and including the extra exit. Do I have a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
We have a second by Mr. Coates. Any further discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval with stipulations stated by Ms. Wheeler, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're now ready for item number 6. I got my other glasses on so I can read now. Rivergate, this is the Rivergate Master Plan. Request revised preliminary master plan to include additional right-in, right-out drive onto Rivergate Parkway. Anybody here? I see you now. And your name, please?
Kate Sharash, Rivergate MP Holdings LLC, and Maris.
Thank you. Sean?
Thank you. For item 6, so the request for the revised master plan, kind of a quick summary. I know that we've discussed a number of amendments to this master plan. It's a large site with a lot of complexity. Kind of some of the main points with this one would be an additional right-in, right-out driveway at Rin Drive, across from Rin Drive, and that would allow some additional support some of the commercial development on the west side of the development and support access to those. We also have some additional units of residential use that has changed since the last master plan that you've seen. Just a quick background, tried to add a little bit of context and timeline to this as there's been some variation, but with the approved master plan in August, the first amendment you saw was in December to replace the hotel and some commercial use with additional commercial use and a grocery retail center. And that also included a 340 unit apartment use that would be transferred to an additional phase. February's amendments included relocating that apartment use and then replacing some of the square footage, replacing some of that square footage with the entertainment and commercial and medical uses. And then what we have today, which we're going over. So that access for the right-in, right-out, as I mentioned, across from Rin Drive or Rin Road, would support some of that commercial use on the west side of the development. You've probably seen this table that kind of spells out some of the approved. I know we don't have buildings that you're looking at, but kind of the master plan with the approved concept plan versus the amended concept plan. And so you'll see some of those changes, which include approximately 10,000 square feet of additional commercial space, 30 additional townhomes, and then a shift of approximately 50 multifamily units from the Metro Nashville side to the Goodlettsville city limits, and then some quite a bit of additional parking spaces, not only with the townhomes, but also to support some of that additional commercial development. And so the motion options that we have in front of you are 1, to approve the master plan amendment, 2, to deny the proposed master plan amendment, 3, to defer the request to include additional information, and staff is recommending motion 1 to approve the master plan amendment.
Okay, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, do you bring up? Thank you so much. So Sean really covered most of the actual changes to, and I'll dive a little bit deeper into the actual changes that we're requesting tonight. What I did want to, as I promised last time, once we were owners of the Rivergate Mall, that we would bring back the progress since the last meeting as well. So Sean, can you go back 1? So you're going to see a lot of familiar faces on this slide. We did do the groundbreaking in March. We have taken down about 60% of the enclosed mall, including Sears, Macy's, Incredible Dave's, or Smart Buys, depending on what era you're in, and most of the 1987 expansion. JCPenney closed on at the end of June, so we are doing the abatement in that portion now, and that will be coming down as well. That's really when you will see the most significant change on site. We will be continuing to move forward with demolition until all of that is down. Alongside that, we are working on the infrastructure, starting with the storm structures to the south side of the site. That's what you see in the top right corner. As that is where everything is draining to, we will follow that with water and sewer. Next slide. I have a lot of fun putting these photos together. I absolutely love the demolition and the site work part of these. So I just wanted to choose a few of them to show you exactly how much progress has been made on site as far as getting to the clear canvas to talk about all of the, and actually effectuate all of the changes that we have made to our master plan uses. Next slide. As Sean mentioned, we did move some of the multifamily there, from the Metro Nashville side to the Goodlettsville side. Anytime we come here to ask for any sort of amendment, it is always market driven, whether it is on the residential or the commercial side. This one was driven by a couple of different forces. Overall, however, we did reduce the number of multifamily units on site. We had 1,030 were approved between Goodlettsville and Metro Nashville. That is reduced to the 714 multifamily and 80 senior. The multifamily is on the Goodlettsville side. The senior is on the Metro Nashville side. The townhomes, we have engaged with a number of prospective developers looking to densify that. We are looking to go from 105 to 135 self-parked at the code. And of course, last but not least is the ride-in, ride-out that we are asking for off of Rivergate Parkway. We have a number of interested parties for those out parcels, and that would be a requirement of theirs. So I will stop there. I showed my pretty pictures, gave you the overview. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board? Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know if this relates, but for simplicity, Davidson County versus Goodlettsville on the number of homes, how is that split up currently?
The number of townhomes or the number of?
Overall keys,
Overall
not including
keys?
hotels.
The 120 Key Hotel is on the Goodlettsville side, and that is the only hotel that is on the site.
All right.
It is.
Rooms, houses.
Houses, in my amendment or previously?
Previously and now.
Previously, there were 664 on the Goodlettsville side, and the balance of that was on the Metro Nashville side. With everything that has gone on in the market, we moved it to be 714 in the multifamily, and 135 of the townhomes are on the Goodlettsville side. The 80 senior is on the Metro side.
Any other questions or comments?
Just one more. Where are we at on commercial space? Are we losing?
Now, you are right at I think it's 51,000. There's a slight bit more than what we had the last go-round.
Kate, could you repeat that, please?
What did we say, Sean? It was 49 and change in the last one, and we're at right about 51,000.
Yeah, I
the
think we had an
Goodlettsville side.
additional 10,000, because it was about 47 to 57.
57.
I'll go once again. So on December 1, 2025, it said we had 87,000 square feet of commercial use.
That was so that's before the last amendment, when there was the prospect of a grocery store that unfortunately is not going to be joining us.
So when did that change from 87 to 51?
February.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a couple of questions?
You may.
I guess one, why? why the changes? Why this, okay, the right in and right out, I get that. Why the rest of it?
Why moving around? It's moving, with any master plan, you are moving those chess pieces around as the market drives. That's what we had talked about in all of our amendments, right? So as folks have come on board, you know, those that we are going to be selling those parcels to, they had desires of certain locations, and overall, we are maintaining the vision that we had for this transformative project, which is a full mixed use. Could we have looked at it and said it has to be all of one or the other? Yes, but that doesn't make sense, right? So we tried to move everything around to still be able to effectuate the vision that we had.
Okay, so, and I'm fearful of the answer, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Are you hearing from potential buyers, developers, that they want the commercial with a Nashville address and not a Goodlettsville address or
No.
something like that?
No.
So it's just maybe an appealing location on the site for whatever they're trying to do? What do you think is driving the difference?
Every commercial use has its own requirements, has its own desires, whether they want to be on Rivergate Parkway or they want to be more innards to the site as far as commercial uses. They like being around the green, they like being next to residential, they like being closer to Dillard's. Whatever it is, there's been reasons for those changes.
Okay. And the next question is for our city manager. From a tax-based perspective, I mean, how is this affecting, it sounds like Davidson County's getting the commercial and we're getting the residential, and that, I mean, I don't know what fair matters in this regard, but that sounds not as good for our tax base.
When you look at it from a square footage basis, yes, it has changed. It has not changed that significantly from what I can tell. Mr. Parnell, I mean, me and Ms. Jarosh have had to have some discussions, and I think at this point they are doing what they can do to get this project moving forward. And with only really 50 units being moved over to the portion that's within our city limits, is pretty much, to me, is a pretty good trade-off, because I want to remind everyone, previously, when Rivergate Mall sat there, only 30% of the mall sit inside the city limits of Goodlettsville. Now we're probably going to have 55% of those properties in Goodlettsville. Now, this is totally shooting from the hip, I mean, but it is no longer everything pushed back in the corner. It is across the entire 56 acres. So that is how I view this.
Excellent information. Thank you very much.
Any other questions or comments?
This is minor compared to what all we're talking about, but definitely on that right in and right out, please put in the notes to make that big enough to get in and out of there. We approved this in front of Publix, and I personally cannot get my truck through it. It's a dually, and you can't turn in, or I have to go to a red light strictly because it just don't work. So that's a small request on a big item here.
On a big truck driver. What we did, if you look at the way the design looks, we did not put that median in the middle so that it is truly the ride in and the ride out, because there will not be a way to get anywhere else. So I hear you on the width, for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is the right in, right out just for that traffic coming from Gallatin Road toward the interstate? There's not a cut through the curve there, is there? To where you can ride out and then jump across over it and head toward Gallatin Road?
Head towards Gallatin Road. To go, if you're trying to make a left out of there,
Median will be blocked.
yes.
Okay. We have one now in town that people like to left turn in, the right turn over.
Really a right in and then right out is what it amounts to, correct?
Correct.
Any other questions or comments?
So this new drive will have access to either go north or south on, or whatever, yeah, north or south on Rivergate Parkway?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
You're gonna have there is a cut through on Rivergate Parkway to get, if we come out, we could go either left or right, or is it just a right only?
Just a right out.
Okay. Can't go straight ahead?
Can't go straight ahead. I might try.
Okay, I guess we're ready for a motion. And the motion is for a request for right in, right out onto Rivergate Parkway. The request from Mayor Tennant was to make sure it was large enough for his dually and other
Anybody's.
and other
Make sure
big
that's the
vehicles, which I would like also. So do I have a motion in regards to this? We have a motion from Ms. Wheeler for approval with right in, right out. Do I have a second?
Second.
Who was that?
Rusty.
Mayor Tennant seconds the motion. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. One
Appreciate it.
question, please. On that road going in front of BJ's and all those other, there's several stop signs. Is there a need for that? There's no traffic coming from the demolished sites.
Now that Penny's is gone, we will look to see if those are all necessary.
It's just a nuisance.
Yeah, those are existing. Obviously, our plan makes all of those changes. So we will take a look at that, sure.
Thank you. And we have a discussion item, is that correct? Is that the next on the agenda?
Yes, we have one discussion item that, pulling up some slides on. I can at least introduce the item, and then we can roll into their slides.
I'm sorry, what?
I can introduce the item, and if we're ready.
Okay.
One discussion item, the property on South Dickerson Pike, 1219 South Dickerson Pike, for Paradigm Vehicle Storage and Gym concept proposal. We had some conversations about this proposal and didn't really fit cleanly within the zoning ordinance, and so given the proposal that they were looking to pursue, wanted to at least get some face time with the Planning Commission and pitch their proposal. They will be going to the BZA tomorrow because this does involve, the closest thing I think that it aligns with is a conditional approval for storage units, which would have to go through the BZA, and then an additional variance request for the size of those units, which is 500 square feet, but this proposal would be above that. So that's the reason for the routing through the Board of Zoning Appeals. And I think they submitted conceptual site plan that shows these 95 units in the gym, as well as a rendering of that. For those that are familiar with the South Dickerson corridor, there are some parcels down there. I know that there's been interest in more commercial development on that corridor. Some of the parcels are quite challenging, very long and narrow, as this site is. And so with that, I can pull up your slides.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and Planning Commissioners. My name is Rob Sampson with Selberg Associates. I'm here on behalf of Paradigm Companies. Brian Garland, CEO of Paradigm Companies, is here. I have a brief presentation for you. We won't go very long. I know there's a soccer game about to start, so some of you guys may be looking to go get to that. But looking through this, a couple things to let you know. This is a property that Mr. Garland owned. He has a funding a wing of his company, and he foreclosed on it and thought, what a great place. He could take this company, this opportunity that's been proven in a couple of different other locations we've built in before, and introduce it to you guys and see what you guys think about the option. It's a gym concept, which we have some slides. We'll show you what that looks like. It's a very gym-focused for weightlifters who want to look like Mr. Garland over here. And it's also a storage concept for people who have toys, RVs, boats, and so on. They've done a market analysis. This market analysis has revealed that this is a needed concept for this area. And with the amount of traffic that travels South Dickerson Pike Road on a daily basis, this seems like a real winner. This property is quite challenging. It does have quite a bit of slope on it, and we have a site plan that we'll share with you here. So what you see in some of these pictures is this is Paradigm Storage in Lake Havasu City. This is a luxury man cave resort storage. Essentially, we have units from 800 square feet all the way up to 2,900 square feet. These are man caves. You can't live in them, but they outfit them. I can tell you that everybody who's bought one wishes they would have bought one a little bit bigger. What we're proposing is nowhere near as complex or elaborate as that. This is a simple 80 units. I know it said 95 on the previous one, but 80 units, 1,000 square feet each, and then a 10,000 square foot gym. What we're here to talk about, this is nowhere near as developed as the other site plans that you've seen this evening, where they've gone through all of the criteria that is required by the Planning and Zoning Commission. This is really just to get approval of concept. We just want to make sure that you guys are okay with what you see here. And if we go to the BZA, we'll make our same case tomorrow, and hopefully everyone will see favor and we can move forward. If you'd please go to the next slide. So this is our site plan. Sean, thank you for introducing it earlier. This is what we're proposing. So commercial up at the, right at the street. It'll meet all the criteria for, brick and stucco, and it's right next to the Dollar General. It's adjacent. And it'll have similar finishes, pre-engineered metal building, metal siding on the sides, but anything visible from the street will be the stone, glass, and stucco. All of the units are spaced appropriately, and all the setbacks are appropriate. So we'll have obviously some work to do with our engineering groups and make sure that we've got all of the stormwater retention required. But this is the concept for now. Next slide, please. This is just a snapshot of what Ryan and his group has created in Lake Havasu City. This is the gym. We have another gym in Lake Havasu that's being built in Arizona. Right now it's going through permitting. They should break ground on it by the end of the month for sure. This is a very gym focused. There's MMA training. There's this isn't your average $10 a month Planet Fitness. This is something that is for people who really want to work out, are serious about it. Next slide, please. Just another view of the same gym. And then this is the last slide. This is the outline of what the Paradigm Storage in Lake Havasu City is. It's 250,000 square feet. There's another one about 30 miles away that just finished. That's about 70,000 square feet. These are big open storage garages. We've done almost 5 million square feet of storage in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, just my own company. In the last 5 years, it is a concept that works as America gets more toys and more money, and you guys know there's a lot of money in the Nashville area. We think this concept will be something that will really work. But we'll stand here for any questions. If you have any questions of Mr. Garland, feel free to ask. And thank you.
I guess I have a question. So on these storage units that I see pictured here, Are there just doors, entrance doors on the inside? Is that where you gain access, or is there doors on either sides?
So right now, they're all single, individual garage doors. There won't be any man doors into them unless maybe the end units, but right now it's all essentially one door that rolls up. That's your only access into the unit.
And I saw on one of the pictures where there was a vehicle in there. How many vehicles would go into one of these storage units?
These are essentially double wide. They'll have at least a 16-foot door on them. So it would be essentially set up for two. This is set up for a diversified look, so you can get boats, you can get classic cars, you can get, RVs, or a mixture of each. I mean, it depends. These really aren't set up just for one demographic. It's essentially spread to have as much capability to satisfy as many people as possible.
So you could put several cars end to end in these units?
Absolutely, yep.
About how many regular-sized sedans or whatever?
About 10 total in these.
So you could put 10 cars in one unit?
Correct.
I don't have 10 cars, but it's,
Now you-
it's good to know if I need, if I do
You
have.
could also put a lift in there and get 10 more on top of that.
Would you be able to work on vehicles in these units?
No, these come with a very strict CC&Rs. They won't allow people to sleep in them. Security, because one thing I didn't mention, but I should have, is these are proposed as condominiums, so fee simple. You'd purchase them. It's something that you have an ownership that is paying into an HOA on a regular or on a monthly basis. We find that to be better because you have ownership, so that if they keep it nicer, they maintain, there's no partying going on. If anyone's breaking the rules, they're quick to tell, that they're hey, let's shape up, it's time. It comes with this pride of ownership. When you do rentals, it's not something that they're buying in for long term, so you get a lot more problems. This here has been a proven concept for us.
And so there's different size units on this property, is that correct?
No, these are all proposed as 20 by 50s.
And approximately what would one sell for? Do you have an idea?
We can't really quote any numbers, but they're not for your average person. This is something that will be an escalated price point.
Less or more than 100,000?
How much can you answer?
I'll answer, guys. So we're going to be roughly about $300 a square foot. Every one of the units are about 1,000 square feet. It's about $300,000.
Okay. All right.
And just to add a little bit more color too, so we also have, for example, we have people that are 1031 exchanging at Airbnbs or other commercial real estate, and they want rental or cash flow. So this is really nice because the entry point is a lot lower than a regular home, and it's a lot less maintenance. So a lot of people are selling other real estate holdings, 1031 exchanging, buying these, and then renting them out to other people who would want to park, their vehicles, their RVs, boats, what have you in them, but also contractors are storing materials and so forth. So it's not like a car cave condo where guys are coming in it's only for, the motorheads or what have you. This is a lot more of a diverse group of buyers, and a lot of people are looking for tax strategy, and they're trying to get bonus depreciation and so forth too. So a lot of people are buying these for many different reasons, but you really have real estate holdings as well. So again, it's a fee simple product.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
So each individual unit can be owned by a different person.
Correct, yeah. And ironically, in Lake Havasu, we have 208 units in one project. Every single building that I build, they're already pre-sold 100% before I'm even breaking ground. So the demand is pretty high, but a lot of people will buy 2 or 3 units at a time. So you can buy it under an LLC, you can buy it under your personal name, an IRA. I mean, the list kind of goes on.
And then
Trust.
they lease them out, rent them out, whatever.
Correct. And believe it or not, we did not expect that in this project here. We didn't even think of it because this area is so big in retirement. A lot of people are getting out of California. They want to, get rid of some of the crazy stuff that's going on in California. So they're retiring and coming here. And people are just buying these things on 1031 exchanges more than we could have ever imagined. And so we had one guy buy 18 units from us in one shot. So people are really looking at, additional cash flow. If you have real estate holdings, or you sold a business, or you had some other, a portfolio of rentals, residential rentals, people will sell them because they like the cash flow, but they don't like to deal with the maintenance or legal aspect of having tenants. Well, this is a whole lot less, to maintain. You have a mini split and you have a garage door, and that's pretty much it. So these come in boxes.
So is there one person manage all the rentals, or is it done individually?
So they have to buy each one. So each one has its own, address, APN, what have you. So they're individual lots in essence. So people can buy as many as they want. It's like buying multiple houses in one master plan.
How would that work on taxes of this property?
I'm not sure, but I was trying to conceptualize if each individual lot is owned. Obviously, I would imagine it would come in under what's called a horizontal property regime, and you'd have some common area,
Correct, yep.
and you'd have your common wall on either side, assuming you're an inner unit, and then you'd have your front and back, but you would actually, on the square, you would own the square of the unit, but then there would be common area owned by all, and,
Correct.
of which you would have, an HOA, basically, for a commercial lot.
Correct.
But the space itself for the stuff would
It would be
owned by X.
You'd have probably much like a platted deed, I presume, a platted deed, not a meets and bounds description. They would come in and plat it out. You'd have unit 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down on the master plat of record would be your deed.
And each individual then would pay property taxes based on the value.
Property tax based on that.
Okay.
And just to give you guys some color, a lot of, believe it or not, we actually have a bank that will finance these as well for the end user. So you don't have to buy cash, you can actually get financing. So a lot of reasons why we went out looking for an additional lender. So again, these are, first trustee, fee simple, right? They'll record a first TD on the property. But if you have a step up in your basis and you have a 1031 exchange, we wanted to provide some additional strategy to our buyers to be able to do a step up in their basis, finance as many as they could, and then look at them for a cash flow perspective.
Mr. Barnfield, and just like any other HOA, you'd have your restrictions, covenants, and conditions, and the master deed and separate, which would allow for what you can do in there. I mean, in the property uses. I mean,
Think of like a town, or like think of condos where you have a shared wall, but think of them as being townhomes with a shared wall, because then ultimately you own the dirt too, so it's fee simple, not just condos.
Mr. Chairman, one more. So the size of these in this conceptual plan are 16 or 20 by 50?
Yeah, 20 by 50 by 16 feet tall.
And then is this drawing, the width of, the way I look at it, it's only 50 feet from front to front, is that correct?
The driveway is 63.
Is how much?
63 feet?
Okay.
So it's, and these trailers and boats and RVs are getting longer, and so you really need as much space as you can in the middle for a driveway. So we got about to 63 feet. That project right here, there's some bigger spots, but on average, it's about 60 feet. And that's great if it's not a problem, but a little extra room people would like, so you got an extra 3 feet.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, why the label luxury? What does that denote?
So one of the reasons why we name it luxury is because ultimately it's a product where people want to buy and store their toys. So, nowadays people are looking at RVs and boats as assets. They're not necessarily just liabilities anymore. So you want to be able to have something that's going to protect them. Like out in Arizona, it's 120 degrees out there. So we were actually the one that kind of pioneered building and developing these with air conditioning. And that completely changed it out. So I don't know if any of you guys own RVs or boats, but an RV, let's say a battery pack on an RV can cost you $15,000. So if you have electrical storms or you have certain things that kind of come through with the heat, you can burn through your batteries and that costs you $15,000. And I had that happen to me. It cost me twice in 1 year. I went through batteries. It cost me $30,000 in batteries. I was like, I wanted to throw up. So I ended up trying to find a place where I can rent them, rent a unit to put my stuff in there, to try to protect it. And I just was unable to do it. So as a builder, I said, I'll just build these things and build what people want. And that's really why we went that direction. But you are spending money for them, and people are putting their toys in them ultimately. So we wanted to kind of create that brand that people feel like it's a little more attractive to be able to build, to pay for something that's $300,000. It's their toys, really. Most of the people, we laugh because out in Lake Havasu in Arizona, we laugh because people have more money in their toys than their homes. Their RVs and their boats, and so it costs more than their own home. So we just figured it made sense for us there, and we think it'll work for us here.
So, does people try to run, can you run businesses out of these areas, or?
Yeah, you absolutely can. So a lot of people will have, it's like a flex space ultimately too. So people may build little offices in there, and they can work from there, and that type of stuff.
Mr. Ellis, how would that, if they've got these places rented out and they can run a business out of, what are they, 320 square feet per unit, basically? You say 1,000 square feet?
Mayor Tenen, you're asking a question I don't have a good answer for right now. We'll definitely get you that answer before this is considered, but I cannot answer. Sean, do you have any input into that? Because I do see the possibilities of it being
If I may
issues,
add, before you answer, Sean, one thing I'll tell you is this would only be able to be a secondary business because we're not going to be able to meet the parking requirement for a commercial business to run out of here.
That was my question.
This would be someplace where you could, if you're a painting contractor that has another location, this would be where you buy it to store your paint, load up for the day, and then leave. That's all this would be. It's more for material storage as a business. You could not run an office out of here just because of the fact that you don't have the parking for it. We never meet the parking requirement. We can't take away from the gym. So that'll be covered in the CC&Rs. It'll be handled very strictly as well.
And I understand what you're saying, but who is going to police that?
HOAs.
HOA. So how, and the reason why I ask that, because how long does it take the HOA to come to a resolution in the matter if somebody sets up business where people are coming to that business type thing?
Speaking from my experience, I can tell you that there's every HOA has a number of watchdogs that are very quick to report their neighbors for doing something wrong. And I'm not trying to be funny, I'm being truthful. We've not, in all of the storage units that I've worked on, and I'm not exaggerating when I say 5 million square feet, we've never heard of one complaint. I actually went to the police department because I wanted to get an incident report list to see how many things that there was ever issues on. Because we're working across the country, this comes up, because this is a new concept for most places that we go to. And they say, well, there's going to be parties, there's going to be theft, there's going to be, what else is going to happen here? There was 4 incidents, and each one was someone thought their neighbor was being robbed by somebody who they gave the code to. Not one of them, there was a false alarm on a fire alarm once. But in all of the units, that's never been. It's just because what happens is, hey, John's not doing this. I see he's doing something he's not supposed to, and they cry bloody murder because this is something that they're, investing in. This is a lot of times, this is their retirement plan. They make sure they protect it, and as soon as they report to the HOA, if the HOA doesn't act soon enough, they'll call the police. We don't want to put a burden on the police, so we have to address it right away, and that's something that is.
Well, the police can't police HOA about restrictions that are a part of that.
Oh, for sure.
So and this may have been said earlier, are these climate-controlled units?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Second question, what makes keep someone from moving in there to live?
It's, again, the HOA as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we've had husbands and wives get into a spat, and one of them go move into their climate-controlled rental unit. It was not 1,000 square feet, though. Okay, I think we've got some research we need to do on our side as well, because I can tell you, if this was a violation of the municipal code, not HOA, we're looking at 30 to 45 days before we could get it mitigated, resolved. So I cannot picture, I can't even fathom an HOA resolving it in close to that amount of time, because in some cases it may take court action for it to be resolved. So I appreciate it. I do think in theory that it is got a lot of merit. Just need to figure out all the components to it.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Someone brought this concept to my attention that was going on, and can't recall the geography they told me in. Do you know if there's anything like this within 30 miles of us?
There's 3 other projects. One's from Storage Caves, which I know the developer, it's actually out of Georgia, though. That's how far away he is. You have what's that Raleigh one? Raleigh Point, but that's, I think it's 15 miles away from here in Hendersonville. But that's a different concept. That is more of a car concept. They're actually really nice, but it's more of a car concept.
And that was the concept I'd heard, where basically you had guys that own some classic cars, they go hang out, they watch TV, they tinker on their car, drink beer, and go home.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they do there, yeah.
They pay a lot of money to go do it, okay.
Yeah, this is, believe it or not, these are, if you look at the interior walls, they're all, light gauge paneling, so you don't really have the ability to just like hang TVs. It's not as comfortable to be a big man cave like that, even though we call them that. It's not. It's really set up for storage. So these are really more storages. Like if you look at that picture on the very top, I mean, that is a storage unit all the way through. So it's really all we're doing is they're giving them a big storage unit and they can put their toys in there. So we haven't had any issues with people living in them or any of that stuff. We just haven't had it. And we do have, a lot of these, we have a lot of times in escrow, just to kind of share, in escrow, a lot of times, like this particular one, the grade falls off the street down into the project. We'll have guys that have big RVs or big trailers, and they'll come out and test to make sure they can park it and get it in there before they buy it, And the number one biggest concern for them is safety. Do you have security? Do you have cameras everywhere, in which we do? So we allow, a certain amount of cars per unit to go through. You have to register your vehicle, that type of stuff. So it's not just like anybody can go in there.
Any other questions from the board? We do have somebody in the audience that would like to ask a question, and I'll allow that. If you would come up and tell us your name.
Hey, my name is Tim Tenen, from the property, and hey, we're for you. Listen, if anything can continue to help that end of Dickerson Road, it's great, okay? But unfortunately, I own 11 parcels of property in front of it. So I'm gonna have some questions, everything gets started on the right perspective and the right wording, but I'm interested in the CCR wording of like vehicles parked outside, because definitely you can't do businesses with cars coming in and out. There's not going to be enough spaces. I just did the mass square footage, and you could maybe only have 5 businesses there with the amount of square footage what the asphalt would need for vehicles. I hope the gym works great. Heck, I probably need to go to it, but at the end of the day, we want, fresh ideas, fresh stuff going on that end of the road. My concern is maybe not so much the what goes on in the buildings, but the road, the traffic to get in and out of what they're proposing. I would ask you all, because I have 50-mile vehicles from our company across the street that come on and off that road. Maybe there could possibly be a little turn off before you get in to turn into their business. Dollar store needed it super bad. It didn't get it. Wrecks happen there quite often because people are not paying attention. They get rear-ended. I've got vehicles coming in and out. There's no red lights. It's a speed zone through there. Of course, I'm on the Metro Davidson County side. This would probably be good for the city of Goodlettsville. definitely tax revenue, but if there's, if there's anything that I could have is in terms of asking you all to think about it is the traffic that's slowing down, that's pulling a boat, or an RV that's coming in and out. Make sure that that's a wide enough area so that people can get in and out, and maybe it has a 40-foot, which from here to there is probably, that wall's 40 foot, maybe a 40-foot egress to get back heading toward Nashville. Same thing pulling into their business from the dollar store in. That would be a question. Also, I didn't see city sidewalks on there, but the traffic that walks from those apartments to the dollar store and to the market down the road is horrible, absolute horrible. I'm surprised people are not getting just blasted and ran over. So if you could just take into consideration the traffic coming in and out of that area, maybe on their CCR, what happens when vehicles don't have register tags and that kind of stuff. Do people have a freelance reign to just park whatever they want to outside of their perimeter of their building? Once people own something, they feel entitled that they can do what they want to do. So, like you said, doing your homework, it'd be interesting to see what, how that lays out for their HOA and their rules and guidelines. So that's all I've got. I hope you guys do.
Any other questions or comments? Well, I appreciate y'all coming out.
Thank you.
And it's a concept I've never heard of before, but it's unique.
Thank you.
What else is on the agenda? Anything, Sean?
Nothing else on the agenda. We have a fairly light agenda, I think, next month, just based on what's been submitted so far.
Okay, good. Any other thing from the board members before we adjourn? Appreciate your attention, your attendance, and comments, and I will see you next month. Meeting is adjourned.